Welcome to a daily brand decoded show. It's Sunday, so I got more free time. Today's episode is a very special episode. I had a question come in from one of you guys watching. Sounded like a gentleman in his early 20s from rural UK. Sorry if it's not rural, but it's like a smaller town in the United Kingdom. Uh, to context, the context for the story, he's tried doing viral marketing on TikTok and Instagram, selling products with the influencers. He's got stuck in a physical constraint of the product he was purchasing white label and he was reselling. He got stuck in the realm of not being able to fulfill all the orders. So there was a revenue roadblock that was created, and after that he stopped and turned to school. He wanted to become a web developer, and because he's in a smaller rural town, United Kingdom, no one around him is making money online. And I want to preface this like there's not a lot of people that make money online, people. It can appear so on the internet because you gravitate towards make money online content, but there's not that many people that are making money online in general. It's still a rare thing that individuals are rising up to the occasion. So he mentioned that he went to school to become a web developer, and he's looking at the job market of web developers and says, oh my God, this sucks. And it's normal because anyone who's paying attention to what's going on in the market is realizing that things are changing. So I would say that it creates a lot of FOMO, a fear of missing out in young people, that they want to sidetrack the school. So he asked me what should he do, and I want to keep the answer simple. It was a genuine question from an audience member, and I wanted to give a solid answer because at one point in time I was 23 years old and I got my first job in digital. So if you can get a remote job in the industry that you're interested to work in, that would be the number one thing that I do. Because let's face it, for every one Mark Zuckerberg or every one Elon Musk, there's a gazillion of failures. And I don't want anyone to fail. Like I want people to take calculated risks that have the appetites for their current situation. And your current situation is tied to your family upbringing, your traumas, your lifestyle, where you are in the world. You cannot give the same advice to a person that lives in Pakistan and to a person that lives in the United States. Dramatically different worlds. Like the person in the United States has more of a cushion. There's more access to credit lines. There's more access to everything compared to someone who's like way further in the world. It's just the opportunity has not been distributed evenly. So when you're making a judgment as to what I need to do now, and you're a young person in your 20s, you need to evaluate your circumstance. Not my advice, get a job, is not an advice for everyone. Some people are living comfortably and they can assume more risks. But I think for most people, getting a job is a path to discipline because it gives structure to your day. I'm not saying that you have to work for your entire life, but having a job for 2 to 5 years is not the end of the world while you're figuring things out. You're using the money from the job to fuel your next thing. Like I remember when I got my first job, it was 100% remote job. And it was exactly what I wanted to do. I had like on-site jobs, and I've quit after 2 months because I couldn't stand going to the office. So when I quit, like I had a job online in digital already lined up for me through my friends. So you see, like I don't think it would be possible for everyone because not everyone had my type of friends that were already in the industry and that got me to do my first gig, right? So, but if you can't even do that, I wouldn't even run away from traditional jobs because the job in and of itself is an education. And you can't stay in a job longer than 3 years. I hire a lot of people in my agency, and after I see someone staying with me for more than 3 years, I feel like, what's wrong with this person? Why don't they want to progress? So typically, like the salary progression after 3 years slows down to a point where they have to go, and then we get cheaper people to replace them because it's the agency type of model. So people do retain some knowledge within the organization, but then they go and leave. So you have to have an awareness that you're going to get a job, not so much for money, but you're going there for discipline, for money, of course, and for the first and foremost, even though it comes last, education. You have to learn from your job. You have to observe your job as an ecosystem. Like, how does it provide money for you? What does it actually do? You have to be curious about the place in which you're working so that you can make the most out of it, whether you're working remote or in person. But if you want to stay in the digital industry, if you want to make money online and build an online business, the thing that matters the most is understanding the concepts within the job that you're doing so that you can translate those concepts into an online business. And it's ideal if a job you get is actually a job that is in the industry. So finding a content creator that is already doing what you want to do is probably the fastest way to getting a job. That means you have to get social on the internet. You can scour for remote opportunities, or you can sell a service and turn that into your own job. You don't have to wait to get an actual job, if that makes sense. So given that this gentleman was in the e-commerce space and he became a developer, my concrete advice to him was to get a job, keep the education going, because the developer is adjacent role to the AI. It's a more technical, specialized skill set for those with the AI. So if you are AI passionate or AI aficionado and you want to finish a school for computer sciences, by all means, you're using that education as an awareness. You have to become cognizant of the fact that your life is an experiment and you are figuring it out. You need more time to figure this thing out, this thing called life. But now the life became more complicated. You need to speak in front of a camera. You need to sell yourself. You need to fulfill the service. There's the multitude of things that need to happen before you start making money online. And that means that you can cover the system A to Z. But if you follow the first thinking principles, you start with the problem from the beginning. And business is a set of problems that you solve in order to fulfill a purpose in your life, which is to make money, which becomes a service to you. So your business, what you're building, in a nutshell, is designed as a concept that is serving your own life. But at the same time, you need to understand the other participants in the game and how your business solves their problems. So to summarize the whole concept, if you're in your early 20s and you're going to college and you don't have a job and you want to start your own thing, don't say no to either of these things. You can put the school on a back burner and take 8 years to finish a school because it's good to have a degree. It's not the end all be all. It will keep your parents happy, maybe keep them off your back, right? But having a job is also a great thing. So they're like, okay, he's working, he's like doing school on the side, and then you can do your own thing on a third side. Like, your 20s are supposed to be the decade of learning and growing. So document your findings. Everything that you know is connecting to the bigger picture and a bigger puzzle. You're not just building a company, you're building yourself. And that's probably the most important thing that you can take from this video today. It doesn't hurt for you to work a little bit harder. Oh my God, I'm missing out on parties and I'm missing out on this. Guess what? Like, everyone's missing out on everything. You cannot experience everything in a single lifetime. So do the things that matter to you, to find the right balance. And if your circumstances are not as I've described them over here, that's completely fine. You don't have to listen to this advice. This is a balanced advice for most people that want to flip, eventually become independent on the internet. And this came from someone who was in his early 20s. So this whole message is geared towards someone who is in his early 20s. Go forth and conquer, young ones. I wish you all the best. Have a great one.